Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Langston Hughes wrote, and I quote.
Wow, that truly lifts our spirit. And this is what we are here for. AVENIR 2021 is organized with a vision to empower and facilitate students to navigate their future and make their dreams real.
Clarity, commitment, inspiration, combined with a real plan, will actually move you along the path to making your dream come true. It takes effort, energy, and commitment to achieve your goals. So you need to be sure of what you really want before investing your time and resources into achieving it.
Abraham Lincoln said, "The best way to predict the future is to create it." Good evening, everyone. We wholeheartedly welcome dignitaries from the Ministry of Education, Honorable Chairman Board of Directors, Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, and other esteemed members of the Board of Directors, officials from the Indian Embassy, Mr. Alkesh Joshi, Honorary President of the School Management Committee, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir, presidents and members of all the school management committees of all the Indian schools from Oman and from other schools and boards across the globe, principals, vice principals, heads of various departments, coordinators, teachers, parents, and all the enthusiastic aspirants. A very warm welcome to all present here virtually with us for the session on day 4 of AVENIR 2021, which is set to be a 9-day global career guidance program. This year, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir is the proud torchbearer of this mega event under the aegis of the Board of Directors, Indian Schools in the Sultanate of Oman. Welcome all once again.
Your hosts for this evening are Kulsum Tajsar of Class 9 and Sona Saju of Class 8 from Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir.
Dear audience, it is our pleasure and privilege to have you all here with us on this journey of making our dreams reality by making right choices on the intersection point of rising opportunity and our life preparations.
You're requested to fill in the feedback form, which will be posted in the chat box. For those who have joined through YouTube, are requested to check the description box towards the end of the session. Filling this form is necessary as it would fetch you a participation certificate.
Where you study can be almost as important as what you study. If you choose the right university, your time as a student is likely to be enjoyable and fulfilling. UK universities have an impressive reputation and rank among the best in the world. And those who decide to study in the UK will be rubbing shoulders with some of the brightest minds from all corners of the globe.
A university with the motto, "We follow the light." Exeter University, a prestigious institution which consistently features amongst the world's finest universities in global rankings as well as dominating the UK rankings, making it one of the best choices for first class education in the UK.
ET was awarded gold in the first Teaching Excellence Framework in recognition of the high quality of its teaching, which means you will learn with experts at the forefront of their fields. University of Exeter alumni include J.K. Rowling, who studied BA in French and Classics, and politicians Sajid Javid and Carolyn Lucas. With a diverse student community and a commitment to delivering internationally excellent teaching and learning environment, students at Exeter graduate with the confidence to take on the world. And you could too.
The University of Exeter is full of opportunities, but sometimes it can be hard to know which way to look first. Today, we are honored to have with us an eminent representative, Mr. Joshua from Exeter University, who will discuss the programs and courses they offer. At Exeter University, you can choose from a wide range of diverse real-world courses and turn your passion into a rewarding career. Before that, Let's watch a video presentation about the university.
Together, we are citizens of the world, connecting in over 140 countries and cultures. With thousands of opinions, mindsets, and aspirations, we're alive with the same ambition as those that came before us. In the most challenging era of our times, in a world that is evolving, changing, disintegrating, at the University of Exeter, we make our mark, make a difference, and make an impact. It's our determination to harness the power of education and research to advance society, to challenge each of us, to combat the climate and ecological crisis, to create breakthroughs in human health and well-being, and to play our role in creating a fair, socially just, and inclusive society. Together, we can lead a change for the future of our world. Together, we create the possible.
That was indeed a splendid video. Dear audience, you requested to post your queries in the chat box. Our distinguished speaker will answer them in the Q&A session. Now I call upon our guest speaker for this session, Mr. Josh from Exeter University. Over to you, sir, for your presentation.
Thank you very much. What a wonderful introduction. Thank you. So let's get started with the presentation. I'll bring it up on my screen. Okay, so my name is Josh Gabriel. I am the Assistant Director of Recruitment here at Into University of Exeter. And again, thank you all very much for taking time out of your day to listen to me speak and hopefully learn a little bit about the University of Exeter and the Into Centre. So I'm sure many of you have thought about studying in the UK and maybe even heard of Exeter. So let's go over quickly a little bit about Exeter and where it is. So Exeter is in the southwest of the UK. You can see it's about 2 hours or 2.5 hours away from London by train and is surrounded by some of the most beautiful countryside in the UK as well. It's ranked top 10 for overall student experience in the Times and also is always in the top 10 safest city in England, which is always good if you're going to study abroad for the first time as well. Okay, so here is one of our students from India. Has a very lovely quote saying, Exeter is a beautiful city, it's by the coast, it's easy to go to the beach, it's a beautiful cathedral here, and there's lots of opportunities to try new things and meet people. London is less than 3 hours, the fastest train is 2 hours, 10 minutes. Trust me, I've done it many times. And of course, it very much is a student city, so there's many, many things to do here. And I always like going through the students' pathway from their start into to where they are at the moment, because I really think it shows how students progress through the education system with the help of Into at the beginning. So she completed the International Year 1 in Management and Business Economics at Into, successfully progressed into the University of Exeter and graduated from a BSc in Business Management. Then had a consulting intern at Oracle, which again, a very, very large company, and now is a co-founder of her own company as well. So you can see she's done very well from that start. Okay, so here's a quick video of the campus. It gives you a good idea if you are looking to come to Exeter. I think this is a really nice video. It shows just how beautiful the campus is. Exeter does have one of the most beautiful campuses in the UK, and hopefully this video will give you a taste of that. So I hope you had a little taste of what Exeter looks like. Let's move on. So Exeter is a very, very well-renowned university in the UK, as well as all around the world. It dates back to the early 1800s and is a member of the prestigious Russell Group University, which is the top 24 UK universities in the UK. And Exeter, as far back as I know, has always been a member of the Russell Group University. It's top 40 most international university, and it impressively ranks in top 150 in the world, both in the Times and the QS this year as well. So it is one of the top universities in the world. Okay, so we try and employ more than just a degree on students, but also try and help them with employability after they graduate. So it is a key priority at Exeter. We help students by interview practice, enhancing their CVs, networking, and of course, industrial work experience, which I'll go on to in a little bit. Okay, the majority of undergraduate degrees will have the option of an industrial placement year. And this will be self-organized. Of course, we will help you organize it. And the work experience will be relevant to your degree. It is paid, which is nice. And we do have connections both locally and globally, which helps us place students in relevant positions. And we'll go on to show what type of companies students do get this work experience in. So I don't think any of these companies need an introduction, but of course they're very well known. And if you get work experience from these companies, it really does put your foot on the ladder very, very early on in your career. So we're talking about Deloitte, Apple, PwC, Shell, Goldman Sachs, Jaguar, EDF Energy, depending on the field which you're interested in. Exeter Business School is one of the top in the UK. It's triple accredited, and I believe only 1% of business schools worldwide have triple accreditation. Top degrees in the business school include business management, accounting and finance, business economics, marketing and management. And we do attract the best recruiters, including Deloitte, KPMG, PwC, EY, and Goldman Sachs. So their recruiters do come to the university to meet our students. Of course, they want to recruit top quality students, and Exeter is where they can find them. It's ranked top 10 for business management in the UK. Again, that's quite a feat. And #1 accounting and finance graduates prospects as well. Okay, so here's another one of our students from India, Tahir. And he says how the classes are very small, the teachers really pay attention to each and every student. They use presentations, materials that make understanding extremely easy. And the finance modules really helps them a great deal post-degree as well. And you can see, again, his career route and how well he's done. Okay. So one of our newer programs, it was only started about 2 years ago, is the BE Engineering and Entrepreneurship. So this brings together really two really interesting subjects, both very high in employability rankings. And it's really good for aspiring engineers who have a flair for business. And the nice thing about this program is that there's a Dragon's Den situation or Shark Tank, depending where you're from, where a group of students will get to pitch their business idea at the end of year 3 to a panel of judges and actually get given money to take their business idea into the real world. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the work placements. And of course, if students are going into top companies' work placements, they will end up in top companies when it comes to their final job after graduation. So again, top companies, Goldman Sachs, PwC, KPMG, and so on. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Intu Centre now as well. The Intu Centre is based in the very heart of the main campus, the Streatham campus. So you're right opposite the library, the Great Hall, and essentially the main square of the campus. Okay, so I have another quick video to show you. Okay, so that gives you a little idea about the campus and the Into Centre as well. Let's try and move on. Okay, so quickly talking through the different pathways that Into Exeter offers. The International Foundation. So from the International Foundation, you can move on to almost any degree at the university. So over 170 different degrees that you can move on to from the International Foundation. So pretty much any degree subject that you're interested in, you can move on to from the International Foundation. It is split up through different subject grouping. So we're talking biomedical, life and environmental science, economics, finance and management, engineering, mathematics, computer science and physical science, humanities, law and social science, and then mathematics, economics, finance and management. So you choose each one of these pathways depending on the degree subject that you'll be looking to progress into. We do also offer a fast track 2-term equivalent, which allows you to move into the university within 5 months. Then we also offer the International Year 1 program. This is an extremely popular program. This program is the equivalent or is the same as the first year of a university degree. So essentially you move into year 1 of a 3-year undergraduate degree, and you get a little bit of extra help from the Into Centre, and the entry requirements as well are slightly lower as well. Again, the options for routes here are accounting and finance, bioscience, which is new for 2021, engineering, management and business and economics, management of accounting, economics, finance and management, and psychology. And for the majority of these programs, you will be studying alongside direct entrants, so English students as well. You'll actually be having your lessons with them and the university professors. And the final route is graduate diploma, which is essentially a pathway into master's or postgraduate degrees. And currently, there's options for finance, management, and engineering available for the graduate diploma. Okay, so a little bit more detail about each program. The International Year 1 is a 3 terms, so essentially 1 year. It starts in September. It has to start in September because that's the same time, domestic students start, and you will be studying alongside them. Academic requirements are completion of A-levels or first year of an overseas degree. IELTS 6, minimum of 5.5, and you'll be taught for about 24, 25 hours per week. And after you finish the International Year 1, again, you'll be moving into year 2 of an undergraduate degree. So you don't lose any time at all by studying on the IYO program. Small class sizes, 17 students maximum. And for certain programs, you will study along the University of Exeter students. Okay, so another testimonial from one of our students from India. And she said, the IYO was a perfect step to transition into the university. It gave her ability to get used to a different education system, which is quite different from India. Staff at Into were very helpful. They studied the same topics as the first year students at the university, with a little bit of additional help as well, and how it's a very warm and welcoming atmosphere. And again, very, very impressive. She started off at studying an IYO and Into, graduated successfully from a BA Management and Marketing, worked as a venture manager in London, and now moved on to an MSc at CAS Business School as well. Okay, so there's several options for 2022. Of course, the environment now is a little bit different than it was a few years ago, so it'd be hard to miss talking about this. But essentially, there's more options for you available. It really is only a good thing. You can either come to campus, and of course, we would implore you to come to campus if you're able to. It is open, everything's open now. There's plenty of students here. It's quite normal life here, so please do come if you can. Face-to-face lessons are, of course, still the best, and you get to make the most of your time living in England and getting that whole cultural enrichment as well. If you can't make it to campus for any reason, you can study the majority of courses online and then transfer to on-campus during the next term. So that is an option. If you, for any reasons, you can't get a visa or an IELTS or anything, you can study online as well. So there's plenty of options, and none of them will take you any longer to get to your final point, which is a degree. So you can keep on your study plan, your study track, and get there exactly the same time. Okay, study with confidence. So our progression rates and the grades of into Exeter students are actually quite amazing, considering that Exeter is one of the top universities in the UK. And our students are coming from all around the world, from different education systems. Our students have amazing progression rates and get amazing grades. So 99% of our 2019-20 cohort passed their course, with 90% of them achieve their grades to progress to the chosen degree at University of Exeter. So 90% likely to progress to the University of Exeter from this program, which is far more than I think you would expect from many other programs, whether it's A-levels or anything like that. 90% to progress into a top 24 UK university is quite incredible. And it's even more incredible when this included, for a lot of students, transitioning online as well, through halfway through their study as well, and they still managed to get these fantastic grades and progression rates. So 100% of our international year one psychology students were successful progressing, 92 from the Foundation of Economics, Finance and Management, 90% graduate diploma in finance, and 100% for international year one engineering students. So really fantastic progression rates. So again, you can feel confident that you'll be able to progress to the university itself after the into program here. Okay, so we're coming towards the end of the presentation. There are regional scholarships. Do speak to your counsellor, do speak to the into staff, and they'll help you get the best scholarship possible. There are some progression scholarships as well for really high performing students. There are progression scholarships when you move into your degree as well. And those are automatically deducted depending on the grades you achieve. So you don't need to apply for them as well. It makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so any questions at all? I can open up the chat box.
Thank you, sir. It was truly an enriching and empowering session. Sir, may I now invite our moderator for the session, Mrs. Jayalakshmi, to share with you the queries raised by our valued audience.
Sure.
Good evening, Josh. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, so may I ask you the first question?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a couple of questions, and the first question is, how can I get my university application to stand out?
How can you get university's application to stand out? So if you're applying directly to university, I would recommend really approaching it as you would approach an academic piece of work. So plan it out in your head, plan it out on paper, structure it as you would with an introduction, a main body, really putting in several points about why you think you're right for this course. Do your research as well, work out why this university is the right university for you, and obviously explain why, give examples why this course is the right course for you, and state any kind of evidence which is possible. Maybe you had a real interest in science and you had work experience in your father's lab, for example, but really give examples of why this course and why this university is right for you. And of course, come to a conclusion. Make sure there's no spelling mistakes. A big thing also is don't plagiarize. The majority of universities will use software that check the essays for plagiarism as well, and they'll automatically be dismissed.
Okay, the next question is, does the University of Exeter provide full ride tuition scholarship?
For some countries it does, and I think they've just been released. So I think for some countries, kind of middle income developing countries, there are some full scholarships available for direct entrance, not for into courses though.
And what are the documents that I require if I'm applying as a student, if I want to come to the university?
Again, we start off your application form, your IELTS, your past kind of transcripts from whatever school or university you're coming from, depending on the program you're applying for. And some courses will again require an application essay, depending on what course you're applying for.
And the next question is, could you describe how is the surrounding area? Is it easier to get to everywhere? What is the common mode of transport for the students to get to places?
Yeah, Exeter is a fairly small city, as I mentioned earlier. So it very much is a university city. I think altogether there's about maybe 200, 30,000 people in Exeter, so it is a small city, but about 20% or maybe even over 20% of people in Exeter are either students or work at the university. So you're really talking 1 in 4, 1 in 5 people you see down the street, either a student or a professor. So it really does have that university feel, as you can imagine, some of the more famous cities, university cities in England has as well. Exeter has very good public transport. You can walk most places, most of the accommodation walking distance, 10, 15 minutes away from the main campus, depending exactly where you're being taught and where your accommodation is. A lot of students ride bikes as well. Exeter is quite hilly, so if you ride a bike, make sure that you have the oomph to get up those hills. Yes, there's buses as well, but again, it's fairly small, so it's not such a big issue.
Okay, and the next question is, how would you describe the academic pressure and the workload for different majors?
For different majors, well, I think I would say that Exeter is a top university, and the students who are accepted are normally high-performing students already. So most of the courses are 2 A's and a B or 3 A's, depending on what course you apply for. So most of the students here are pretty applied and focused on their studies already, and they want to do well and get a good degree from the university. So I think the study ethic is fairly strong. There's also a very strong kind of sporting atmosphere as well. We have some of the best sports management, sports science program in the UK, and some really amazing sports facilities as well. So there's lots and lots of sports teams here, and people in Exeter do take their sports very seriously as well. So it's not all about work. I think it's also about some of the activities and enjoying yourself as well. But again, yes, most of the students will take their study pretty seriously. But in the UK, the first year doesn't normally count towards your final degree mark. So that first year is the time where you can go and enjoy yourself as well.
Okay, and the next question is, Mr. Josh, when should I start applying?
I would apply really as soon as you decide it's the right university for you. Particularly if you're looking to apply for scholarships. Scholarships are competitive, so apply earlier than later. Really as soon as you can. I think the big thing is don't leave it to the last moment. Give yourself 3 months time to get all your documents prepared, to get your visa prepared, your IELTS prepared if you need to, write your essay, make sure everything is perfect. So there's no stress and no hassle about getting your visa or getting here on time, just so you can be much more comfortable and know your study routes. So do take the time to apply early.
And my last question is, what is the approximate total cost, including the tuition fee and the living cost?
Yep. So the tuition fee varies between programs, but for Into, it ranges, I think, somewhere between maybe 19,000 up to 21, and the university is about the same. The university is going to be about £20,000 per year as well. Accommodation, it really depends on what you choose. There's some really beautiful private accommodation here, which is fairly expensive, but I think you're talking normally for maybe £6,000 a year for accommodation, and food again in England is fairly cheap. So if you shop in supermarkets, you can probably live off £60 a month if you want to. So it really depends on the way you want to live.
Okay, I have a couple more questions. Okay, they just popped up. So are there any art or designing courses?
Yes, there are several art and design courses here. Exeter does not offer architecture, but it does offer a lot of engineering programs and a lot of art programs as well. It's very famous for drama. So if you're interested in drama, it's very famous, and also very strong in the humanities and English as well.
Another question is, what kind of careers can I pursue with a major in environmental sciences?
So that is a really up and coming area at the moment. And Exeter is at the forefront of environmental sciences, actually. It really is taking account of what's going on in the world. There are many, many jobs you can apply for from environmental sciences. Whether it's really depends on exactly what area within environmental science you're looking for. But you can be an environmental engineer, you can be environmental science. There are many, many different careers that you can apply for, but it really depends on exactly what type of career you'll be looking for.
Okay, another question is it possible to get unconditional offer just with my predicted CBSE board marks?
I don't think so, and not from predicted grades. I think you already need to have achieved them to get an unconditional offer.
Another question is there a course for forensic or criminology at the university?
Yes, Exeter has a very strong psychology department, one of the top in the UK, actually. I think the Exeter psychology department is ranked number 5. Of course, that's very relevant to criminology. It's also very strong in social sciences as well. So there are opportunities to study subjects like that.
Josh, could you also tell the students what is the cutoff to apply at the Exeter University? Since you mentioned that the students have to be of a certain level. So what is the percentage cutoff that we're looking at?
I think you can apply fairly late. I'm not always sure there's an exact cutoff. It's more about the courses getting full. So some of the more popular programs, as we mentioned, things like psychology, they do get full. So I would apply earlier rather than later to make sure that they're processed. But the cutoff, it really depends on the program. But you would say normally it's about a month before.
Does the university offer courses in veterinary sciences?
Veterinary sciences, I better check. I know it definitely offers medicine. I'm not sure about veterinary sciences.
All right, Mr. Josh, thank you so much for answering all these questions. And it was really nice talking to you. Now I hand it over to the comparer.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are truly grateful for your relevant, valued, and patient answers to all our queries. I am sure the participants are enlightened and have got a true picture about the prospects available for them at your esteemed organization. Attendees, do remember to kindly fill the feedback form.
Thank you very
William
much.
Arthur Watts said, "Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it." As we have come to an end of this session, I deem it a privilege to put my gratitude into words. It is my pleasure to propose the vote of thanks. On behalf of Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir, the organizing team, and the entire audience, let me first express a profound gratitude to His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq Al Said for the magnanimous benevolence showered on the Indian diaspora in the Sultanate of Oman. May the Almighty express abundant blessings on His Majesty and this peaceful and prosperous country of our residence. We extend heartfelt thanks to our eminent speaker, Mr. Josh from Exeter University. Thank you, sir. The session was truly informative and enlightening. It opened up new vistas in front of us. Our deepest sense of appreciation and gratitude to Dr. Shivakumar Manikam, Chairman, Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. Thank you, sir, for your encouraging presence and guidance in all our efforts. Our sincere thanks to all the esteemed members of the various Board of Directors, CBC officials, distinguished members of the MOA Oman, and officials of the Embassy of India, Sultanate of Oman, for their overwhelming encouragement at all times. Our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Alkesh Joshi, the Honorary President, Indian School Al-Wadi Al-Kabir Management Committee, and other members of the School Management Committee for their profound encouragement at all times. I also wish to take this opportunity to express our heartfelt gratitude to our prudent captain of the ship, Mr. D.N. Rao, Principal IS Sabluke, honorable principals of various schools spread across the globe, vice principals, assistant vice principals, coordinators, supervisors, and the entire teaching fraternity for their support and guidance. I wish to thank each and every parent and student for their valuable presence in making this session a grand success.
We are indeed grateful to our platinum sponsor StudyCo, gold sponsor Jain Group of Institutions, Grey Matter Academy, Velo Institute of Technology, Sri Ramachandra Institute of Higher Education, bronze sponsor Middle East College Oman, Tapar University of Engineering and Technology, Dallas Baptist University, and MIT World Peace University Pune, digital marketing partner Spectrum, media sponsor The Arabian Stories, and valued donors. An event of this kind requires the coordination of a committed team. My earnest and heartfelt thank you to my ISWK team behind the scene, working tirelessly and making AVENIR 2021 a tangible reality. Last but not the least, I thank Almighty God for making this session a great success. Thank you all. Your next session is a presentation by StudyCo. Everything you need to know before you study abroad starts at 7 p.m. Take care and buckle up for your next session. Signing off for this session, your compares, Kulsum and Sona.